Yes, I'm coming from Germany and I'm speaking English here, but it's not so good. During the last 17 years, I have been living without money. The motivation for this came out of my outrage about the situation in the world. There are on one side the people who are dying for hunger each day, and on the other side there is food wasted each day. And the gap between poor and rich people becomes bigger and bigger, and no improvement is in sight. And so I was thinking about this. What can I, as a single individual, do to make the world a bit better? I was a psychotherapist in this time, and it was not enough for me. I wanted my work for the world to change it. And one day in February 1994, I got an answer. I was listening to the radio, and a priest was speaking about a village in Canada where the only factory was bankrupt, and nearly all the people of the village were without paid work. But instead of moaning about it, they decided to work without money and to help each other, like neighbors. And the priest was so enthusiastic, he said, how nice it would be if in Germany we had something like this. And his words touched me with such a power that I began immediately to make a plan. I wrote a text for the newspaper, and then I founded one of the first barter groups or exchange groups in Germany. People came and cut the hair or worked in the garden or repaired bicycles or cars. They made a lot. We had such a big list with things which people were doing without money. All the things were without money. And I noticed that I needed less and less money, and I was thinking, my biggest wish was, since I was a youth girl, to live 1 year without money. Perhaps I could do it now. But then I thought, how can it go? I have to pay for my rent, for my flat, the rent for my flat, and the health insurance. Oh no, I can't live without money. But then curious things happened. The people from the barter group asked me if I wanted to look after their flats or houses when they were on vacation. And first I didn't understand, because I had a fine flat. And why should I live in their flats? But then when they didn't stop, I thought, like this it could go. If I have 10 houses, I don't need an own one. And so when a woman wanted to go for 2 months on vacation, and she asked me again if I wanted to look after her flat, I said, now my adventure can begin. And I gave away all my possession. I cancelled my health insurance, and I left my flat. I was happy in her home because she had similar music like me and similar books. And when she came back, there were other houses. And I was really never I had to sleep outside in a park or on a bank. I was always with homes and with a bed in a home. Yes, and so yes, I had to learn a lot during these 17 years. one of my biggest things were to overcome my fears. There were a lot of fears. In the beginning, the greatest fear was about my health, because I had bad teeth, and I was so afraid to lose a tooth that I began to eat in a special way. I was very carefully, and always when I finished a meal, I was feeling with my tongue if all things were okay in my mouth. And one day it happened. I was eating bread, and it gave a big crack in my mouth, and I sat there. I couldn't move. I was frozen, and because I knew now it had happened, I have lost a tooth. Fortunately, it was not in front. It was behind, and so nobody noticed, but I noticed. And for me, this accident was very good, because I knew if I am thinking so negatively, I will attract the negative things. And I worked with my self-confidence and didn't think about my teeth anymore. And since 15 years, nothing else happened in my mouth, and this really is a miracle. Another fear was out of my childhood. I didn't think of it the whole years, but one day I came into a house where nothing was to eat, only a bit salt. And I saw this, and I began in the same moment to feel a panic in me. I began to tremble, to weep, and thinking, now I will die. Here I will die in this house, and for hunger. And it was so absurd, because I had a big network. I had friends, and I had a mobile. I could phone to my friends, but I was in this panic. And perhaps you know, if you are in a panic, it's out of emotions, and you, in this moment, you can't do anything. But I am a psychotherapist, and I knew if I want to come out of a panic, I must do one step, a little step. And so I went outside, picked up wild nettles, cooked it, ate it, and then things happened. A friend came and brought me a bag of food out of her kitchen. Another friend invited me for a meal and other things. My big network began to work, and I overcame this fear again. Never more, never I had this. And so the fears come to me, and I work with them. Sometimes I speak to them and say, I thank you very much that you had helped me so much, but now you can go, and so. With this I become freer, and my sorrows go away, and I'm very happy. And because I know all things I really need come to me in the right moment. And in my new life, without money, there are many miracles. I told you one, but there are so many. I must tell you the story with the pizza. I was hungry. And was sitting in a train station. It was very late in the evening. There were no people. I was alone, and I was thinking of a pizza with vegetable and smelling and feeling in my mouth. And then I looked to the right side and said, what is this? There was a bag which I didn't see before, and I touched it. It was warm. And I said, just to have a look. I took it and had a look in it, and there were 3 pizzas. And one of it, which I had imagined, this one I took, I ate it and put the others there for the next hungry person. Yes, and there are often things like this. Moment. Yes, living without money means a very different life to before, because I don't go in a shop, I don't ask people for everything. I am in a team with the spirit world. Perhaps you don't believe it, but if I think, oh, I need a new pair of shoes, then it doesn't last a long time, and someone comes and brings me a pair of shoes. And because she had a bad buy or something like this. And I had to learn to take these things and to be grateful for these things, because I must take a lot each day, a bed and to eat and all these things. But now I can do it because I know I give a lot. I am consulting people in the whole world. They want to live in a different way, and they ask me, can we do something like you? And I say, no, what I'm doing is my way. But I wanted to make this thing for the world, and so I always are thinking, what can I say to my friends and to all the people who are in trouble, who have so less money, and I want to help them. What can I do? What can I say to them? Because I don't imagine that 6 billion people will go from flat to search a new place. This is not, it's not, no. I felt this word, it's not there. Yes, and I thought a bit what I could do, and so I had 4 points. I thought it is, for me, it was very, very, very important to get to know what I really want to do, where my joy is, where my happiness is, where I am in good mood when I do this. And so I call this point from me to me. The second thing is, if I have a problem with someone, with other people, I don't run away. Earlier, I ran away, but this I don't do, because each person can be a mirror for me, and I can learn a lot from each one. And so this point is from me to you. Oh, I must drink. Thank you. The third point is the political. I think we have a responsibility not only for our small family, but for the society, and to found a group. And all the people who spoke today are political, I think. And for me, it's very important. It's from me to us. And the fourth point is the new view of a world. If I know that we all are valuable, we must not do so many work and so many things to be someone, but we are someone because we are human beings. We are living here, and this is enough. And we must not go in competition and all these things. And this, I think, it's the point from me to the whole. And these 4 points are so important for me that I gave them colors, red, yellow, green, red, and blue, and I put it on a sticker. And this sticker, I there is gib und nimm, give and take, is it? And I spread it in the world, because today is so that the people don't go, they don't know what the other person thinks. But I thought if there would be a sign, the sign is we want to have another world with open hearts and with love for each other, then I can ask people who have this thing on a place. If you want to have, you can take one later. If you want to have one, you must be very conscious what you want to do with it. If you put it on a car, you share your car. If you put it on your house, you are willing to have guests in your house. If you put it on a letterbox, you want to have contact with your neighbors. I have it on my suitcase. Oh, my time. I must tell you a little story. I am the second time in Istanbul. And the first time was nearly 50 years ago when I was a student. I have been here in Istanbul, and a curious thing happened because I lost my money when I was a student. And I was so unhappy and always thinking in the money. I was twice a day on the post office to look if my family had sent me my money. I was thinking money, money, money. And I remember it yet, after such a long time. And now I have nothing in my bag, and I go to the through the streets, and I feel so rich and so free and so happy. And this is my wish to the world, that everyone can feel like this, happy and with love, with confidence, and without money.
Heidemarie, thank you very much. So, you don't advise everybody to try it, or maybe they should try it, but they should consider the possibility of living with much less, and be more generous and share the love. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. She's got the stickers. Share the world together.
I think they will put it there on the seats, and if someone wants to have one, he can take it, and otherwise he can let it. What?
They can get from registration desk.
He has one.
Hemen yayılıyor.